Closed Fist. I'm Russ. That's Joey. That's Will. Woo. Talking about SummerSlam. Hey now. Overall grade, it was okay.
B.
It was okay.
Yeah. Are we doing letter grades this week?
Sure, why not?
Okay. I wasn't sure if we were doing numbers.
Out of 10, I'm going to give it a B.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You threw me out. I was like, out of 10? Okay. All right. I give it a B. Yeah. B. I think it was much better, like you were saying, much better than most of the pay-per-views we've seen this year.
I guess C+, B-.
C+?
Yeah, just, because if we go through the card here, and the fact that The Miz was on the pre-show, that's just hysterical. Oh, did you hear some of the stories about that?
I don't know about the stories, but that promo he cut the next night
on Raw was
amazing.
Yes.
With the whole, this is, I want my moment, and this is what it's like to play a packed house. That was fantastic.
That was great. At the Berkeley Center, by the way.
But I guess one of the big stories is that they didn't let the crowd in. Until the match started.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. I was like, I'm like, they got to work on that. But I can understand.
I don't care what everybody says. I like The Miz. His promos are great. His wrestling's mediocre.
I'm just over it. I'm sorry.
He's a good heel.
They took on the Hardys and Jason Jordan.
I'm over Jason Jordan.
Yeah.
And the Hardys at this point.
The quickest storyline ever.
Well, Jason Jordan should be heel. Jason Jordan. After watching that match on Monday night, the aggressive side of him, give him something.
He's gonna go heel when his dad can wrestle.
Give him something to do, that kid, and he's a good wrestler. He's a good hand in the ring, man. Give him something to do. And
they should have gave him Shelton.
I think the babyface thing is just not a good look with that kid.
You know who you give him? I think you put him with Titus O'Neil.
Yeah,
I think you would put him with Titus O'Neil because you know what he's. I'm not saying he's turned around Apollo Crews or anything like that, but it makes Apollo Crews a little bit more interesting.
Well, because Apollo's boring on the mic.
I don't even. There's just something about him that just gives nothing. But his athletic ability is kind of just like Jason Jordan. Apollo Crews is one of the better athletes that they've ever had.
Yeah, but
that reminds me of Bobby Lashley. He reminds me of Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley.
What did we say last night?
Yeah,
we put that list out there. I go Bobby Lashley, same exact people we're all talking about. They're all grouped in the same spot.
But you know what? But I think you take Jason Jordan and you put him with a guy like Titus O'Neil, give him a mouthpiece, make him a heel.
Benjamin. It would have been perfect.
I think you get him nasty. I think you get him mean because when you watch that match on Monday night, when he got mean.
He was good.
In that case, put him with Baron Corbin.
Who?
Your boy.
Who?
Your boy.
I told you, I'm over that train, man. I'm over that train.
But here's the thing. Now here's a storyline. I'm going to give you a storyline, Vince. I'm going to give you a storyline. This is for free.
Just want credit.
He turns on his dad, Kurt.
Yeah,
Kurt
that would be the perfect time. Is when Kurt can finally go again.
Absolutely.
Make him go again.
Imagine that match. We were talking about in the last segment about people who, the type of wrestling that Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart did. Those two in a match. That's money. You're printing money.
You're
right
printing
there.
money.
Printing money right there.
And you know who comes in and interferes? Shelton Benjamin. Then you start off that feud.
Oh yeah.
But that's SmackDown to Raw. When's he going to do that?
But you know what? Though,
the shakeups next week.
But there you go.
True.
There you go. But again, I'm over the Miz. But he won the match. Him and the Miz Taraj won the match and defeated the Hardys. And at this Hardys and Jason Jordan. What do you do with the Hardys at this point? I mean, it's like I don't want to say they're glorified jobbers.
They kind of are.
Yeah.
They're getting everybody over right now.
I mean, it's like, hey, they're back. WrestleMania moment. It was
because the thing was, they were supposed to get the broken gimmick, and without the broken gimmick, there's no real reason to have them.
Well.
Jeff Singles push
because Matt can't hold it.
Matt needs to be a writer.
Matt should be a writer.
Wombat.
Well, he wouldn't be a Wombat.
No, he would take over the Wombats.
Because he would actually be good.
Yes.
And
everybody would be broken.
Also, I mean, the Hardys, what are they, in their late 30s, early 40s now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How many more swantons can you do?
This is how the business works. You have your peak, you have your time. Now it's time to put guys over and keep the business going. The show never stops. Right. And these kids know, these guys know, time to put the young guys over
Yep.
You know, unless they can somehow get that gimmick going or do something else. This is where they're relegated to. This is where they're going to be.
You know what?
Even look at Cena. Cena's in the same boat.
Yeah,
He's putting people over.
He knew it. He knew his time.
Putting people over to a point, and we'll get to that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. The cruiserweight title match, Neville got the belt back
nothing
from
about
Akira Tozawa. But I like Akira Tozawa. I like
bad.
his. He's not bad. I know he's your mid-card type guy. And, you know, he can be a cruiserweight, multiple cruiserweight champion.
I
Nothing
usually
wrong with
fast
that.
forward through the cruiserweights. They do nothing for me.
New tag champs. Usos beat New Day.
Ooh.
You know what? I like the Usos.
I prefer New Day.
You prefer
Because they rock.
Because they rock. New Day rocks. New Day rocks.
They're both awful.
But
Sorry, Oos.
They're both awful.
I hate the Usos with all of my heart.
I hate them both.
I hate them more than Rikishi.
You want to talk about something I'm over? You said you're over the Miz and his whole thing. I'm over the New Day. Done with it.
I enjoy the comedic presence they bring.
I think okay. Well, somebody's going to come out of that group at some point and get the singles push. Kofi Kingston has already had his.
Yeah, I think it's done for Kofi.
He could get it again. He's in his late 30s.
It's going to be Big E. Because he's a big boy, and we know how Vince loves big boys.
Okay. I say I'm over the New Day. The only thing I like about that team is who's the other guy?
Xavier Woods.
Who's the other guy?
Yeah, I can't think of his name because they never let him wrestle.
Yeah.
True.
But
he's a great mouthpiece.
Plays a trombone. He's awesome. He's the one thing, the bright spot for me on that team.
I think the three of them mesh very well.
He's a good worker, dude. He's a good hand in the ring, man. He's not bad.
But you know what though? I think if you give, he's like
Weren't you Jamaican?
No, it was Kofi.
No, that's my
Jamaican.
Were you Jamaican?
That was the greatest break of character ever, especially when Triple H looks at you and goes, "Aren't you Jamaican?"
Yeah.
I think when Kofi started talking like normal, the look on Triple H's face was like,
It was the best. I'm sorry. That was my favorite.
Just broke the fourth wall. Hi, Colt Cabana.
And right after Kofi went crazy and beat the hell out of Randy Orton's NASCAR.
yeah, that's right.
That's the only time I've ever really liked Kofi.
But I think Xavier Woods is the guy to have a bigger career than say Big E, because Big E is more entertaining. He's pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
I will give him that. You know, I mean, I guess only time will tell, but I think Xavier Woods is going to carve his niche.
I think where he proved it was in that little feud that they had with the Wyatts for a minute there. I think he was that shining point on their side of it.
Yep. Yeah. Moving on to John Cena versus Baron Corbin.
Your two favorites. Sounds like your bread and butter, my friend.
That was the bathroom match for me.
Yeah, your bread and butter right there.
I will say this. I did see some pictures of shovels in the back stage area.
Yeah.
One of them had Baron Corbin's name on it. How does a guy fall so fast?
John Cena buries you.
The same way he rose too fast.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You fall that quick because you got pushed that quick. That's the problem.
And you get along with nobody in the back.
Yeah.
And you get along with nobody on Twitter.
Well, Dave Meltzer.
The whole thing was those troops, the U.S. troops that he was talking to, and he didn't know they were U.S. troops. And then all of a sudden he was like, he had to backtrack and apologize all over Twitter.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's not doing your research, I guess. But there's a guy, and I think you brought it up a couple times, that Baron Corbin is a slow burn. He has to be a slow. He should have been. And as soon as they gave him the Money in the Bank briefcase, I'm like, oh, that's not a good thing. It's just too early, because then, I mean, if anything, if you want to give him the briefcase, you don't have him do anything with it until next year.
Yeah, WrestleMania.
But it's like. You know, I mean, but I think every time he picked up a microphone, it was like, oh no. Yeah. Somebody take the mic. Somebody take the mic from him, please. And
it's like listen to a robot.
Yeah, you know, he just doesn't. No charisma. No. Just nothing there. Now, you can say the same thing about Big Cass, but somebody had to have been working with Big Cass, because you know what, he's
Enzo.
But there were a couple points, a couple promos that he cut that you look at Big Cass and you're like, that's not bad. It's better than what he was doing. So he was on the uptick. Now, it could be a ceiling. You don't know that. Fortunately, he has the, well, we'll get into it later, but...
the injury.
Yeah, the injury.
That was a rough injury.
9 months, it said?
Yeah.
I'm going to bet he comes back and goes after Enzo.
No, Enzo's 205 live now.
Kaz can be too.
Yeah. But...
It'll be 405.
But... Where do you go with Baron Corbin at this point? Nowhere.
Because he's SAWFT.
Oh, yeah. And the educational system just picked up a couple grades because now they're going to be spelling it correctly.
Where do you go with Corbin?
Seriously, I mean,
is it going to? Well, I mean, he walked out of that match as the special guest referee, so he didn't even get any heat from anybody in that match. Like, it's not going to be like him and AJ in a program because there was nothing there. Yeah. It was they have nothing set up for him.
Right basically, they needed somebody in that point, and they just used him as all that was.
Now the main thing that is that now that this has happened is that John Cena once again comes to the forefront. John Cena's burying guys. Is it all his fault?
No, that was them telling him.
Yeah.
This kid's being a jerk. You take care of him.
Right.
It wasn't his I mean, there's rumor that they said he didn't like him, but that was all just him coming in like, all right, this kid, we're putting him in the doghouse for a little while. So, Cena, you handle that.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah, and he's going away for a little bit. We're not going away, but he's going to be pushed into a special guest referee position.
Bet you they stick him in a tag team of some sort. Because he's going to need somebody to carry his ass.
Not repackage him because he won that award last year, that most metal athlete or whatever it was, and because he's like a huge metal fan and stuff and like whatever. But if you put him in a tag team with somebody like
Triple H won the year before that,
like Aleister Black, that'd be awesome.
Oh my!
Sorry, I'm not getting. We'll go somewhere else with that one. But
anybody notice how excited Will got when he brought up Aleister Black?
I think Will got a chubby.
Now you guys are making it weird.
That's what we do here.
So go ahead.
Awkward.
Yeah.
For longtime wrestling fans that have followed the WWE for a while, you know what? I'm glad to see this person finally get a push. Natalya.
She deserves it.
Yeah, she deserves it.
She definitely deserves it.
I mean, she beat Naomi for the
she was the queen of the divas for the very longest time. I mean, she was the one that pushed everybody, the one that trained everybody, the one that
she was the one who trained all these girls.
That's she deserves it better than anybody. I agree.
And how long she keeps the title? Is she a transition champion? Who cares?
She got her.
She's got her moment.
She's just hanging out till Flair comes back.
Yeah, probably. And
that's all it is.
Yeah. Or does Carmella?
God, I hope not.
I like.
But at the same time, too, how are you going to give the first ever woman's Money in the Bank not the title?
Yeah, exactly.
You kind of have to give it to her. Even though she didn't win it.
Yeah, and your guy didn't. He cashed in and lost, so you have.
Yeah, you have to have a winner in. I still think Money in the Bank should be both brand.
That Keebler Elf has to go.
Yes.
Man. Okay, now we get to Big Cass versus the Big Show.
Casshole.
Oh. I mean, I like Big Cass winning and all that. I think it was a good thing.
Yeah.
It was a good
Big
thing.
Show's at the end anyway.
Big Show's at the end. Enzo's just an annoying little Furby.
I never want to see a shark cage again. It was funny when Jericho did it.
Yeah, that was
with Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
It was funny. This time he's Criscoing himself.
Yeah, anytime I got to see him and Crisco, I'm done.
Yeah, I was like, "Are you serious? This is,
I saw way too much of him that day.
Yeah,
but it was good for Big Cass. It was a nice little thing that Big Show did to, to put him over and everything. But the follow up to that is that he tore his ACL.
All that work went for naught.
And now he's going to be out for about 9 months. 8, everybody heals differently. The good thing is that he's fairly young. He's in his late 20s.
Yeah.
So hopefully he'll be back sooner than that.
Well, hopefully they're not also doing the Braun Strowman angle with him either. He's going to be out for 9 months and comes back 3 weeks later.
No, well, this is...
I know, but
I know.
Adding more time to it just to make it...
Yeah.
A surprise when he pops back in.
But is it a bad thing, though, that he's off camera right now?
No, I think it's good. I'm not saying they can repackage him. They could.
They could work with him though.
But they could work with him. What did we were talking about yesterday? I said, have him sit down with us while he's rehabbing his knee with not a speech therapist per se, but somebody to work on his promo. And you said his promo's getting better.
Right. Sit him down with The Rock.
Something, whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's it's bad. We feel bad for the guy.
Yeah.
Get
don't
well.
ever want to see anybody get hurt.
Get well soon and all that. But it's like maybe it's not a horrible thing.
Get him away from Enzo. Get him done.
I mean, because now, like you just said, get him away from Enzo. Now it's.
Oh yeah.
But now it's
cup of haters.
But now it's like there's that break. There's that break from Enzo. Now Enzo's on 205 Live.
Yep.
Whatever. I mean, but he doesn't fit there either.
Because he has 3 moves. He has less moves than Hulk Hogan does.
I think I have more moves than he does.
True story.
Yeah. But so get well, Big Cass, and hope to see you soon. But yeah, I mean, good thing for him that he at least got put over by the Big Show. So when he
comes back, he's got something to come. Yeah.
And then we have Randy Orton with probably one of the quickest wins of the year, Rusev.
Bye-bye, Rusev. Give him the papers. Let him go.
You guys are all talking about your shovels and everything because I know everybody doesn't like John Cena, but talk about somebody getting buried. There you go.
Bulldozed.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, my God.
The ditch was already dug.
I've never been a fan.
You know what?
The best part of him was his wife.
I wasn't.
Go ahead.
I wasn't a fan of his in the beginning. But I'll tell you, the guy's wrestling ability, and for his accent, he cuts decent promos.
I thought his character when they first started him, he was a good version of what they're doing with Jinder Mahal.
We had this conversation yesterday.
With the flag. And
if Rusev didn't get hurt, he is Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, but with his wife actually, because it's kind of like Kofi. Is he Jamaican or not? Is she Russian or is she not? Is she really?
She's an actress.
No, I know. I'm saying, but when she first came out and she was playing the whole Brigitte Nielsen from Rocky IV thing, and
those skirts.
It was great. He had the flag and Rusev crush, and it was cool. I thought it was a good heel.
He had it in the beginning, but what they did with him, I can't stand him.
I mean, again, the Bookers, Wombats at work. Again,
like I said, if he didn't get hurt, he'd be in the role of Jinder Mahal right now.
Now, there's a rumor that he asked for his release. It's strictly rumor that, and he didn't, and he came out on Twitter and denied it.
So did she.
So did she. But the fact that even came out, would you be shocked?
No, after you got buried like that. Yeah. I mean, and that was blatant,
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, but it's another worthless match put on.
Like everything Randy Orton's done this year.
I mean, it's like, okay, you give Randy Orton a win. What do you do with him?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, they're building something.
What they're building is Randy going to Raw. Because he's got nobody left on SmackDown.
And he's complaining about being on SmackDown right now. So
everybody wants to be on the flagship.
Whatever. I mean, I'm over the Miz. I'm over Randy Orton.
I like the Miz. Sorry. He's a great heel.
I like his wife.
I like him actually more than his wife. Not in that way, but
Big Spoon. Just go Big Spoon. And then we move on to Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. Sasha Banks, the new SmackDown Women's Champion.
She's so hot.
I think it's a good. I mean, I like the move.
Like her.
I mean, I don't mind it.
Somebody had to fill that spot that Bayley left.
Or buried again.
Yay! I'm not a fan of Bayley either. Sorry.
I think she's the Baron Corbin of the women's division.
Will's going to disagree because she drops the macho elbow.
Yeah.
Bayley.
I apologize. I really don't care. I'm not a big Sasha Banks fan. I'm not a big Alexa Bliss fan. To be completely honest with you, and I don't care. Everybody can throw out there, oh, she's hot though. Don't care.
No, but Sasha proved a lot to me in her little spat with Flair.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
that was a great program. That was a great program. Yeah. I'm just saying that they just. I don't know.
I think you know what? I think one of the things that SummerSlam showed was that the women's division needs more talent.
I still think they need a tag team.
I think they shouldn't have split when they did the split. They'd have a huge division if they wouldn't have done on both.
Right.
I think they should do something like 205 Live. They should get their own show.
The Mae Young Classic is it's going to be televised now on the network, but
I think coming out of that,
they're going to sign 10 of them. From what I understand, they're going to sign 10 of those women. How they divvy them up, we'll see. Whether they get their own hour show.
They should, along with a tag.
And I'm probably never going to watch
division.
any of it.
Yeah. Well, if they do it right, you'll get something out of it.
Well, I mean, I'm just, I'm not trying to like a women's wrestling hater. I think Charlotte Flair's great. I like Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
I like Natalya.
I'd watch that over 205 Live.
I like.
I'm not gonna lie.
But see, I think there's some stuff on 205. Well, we're gonna get into splitting hairs here, but I personally those two specifically, I don't think Alexa Bliss. I mean, she's great on the mic. But in ring stuff, I haven't, especially since she's gone to Raw. When she was on SmackDown, she had some better matches with Becky Lynch and stuff like that. Somebody who could take her along and go, all right, this is what we're going to do.
And she's so little.
But you know what, though? I think chemistry.
So's Becky Lynch.
I think chemistry. Yeah. I think chemistry plays a lot, and you can tell who has chemistry and who doesn't.
And I don't think she has chemistry with anybody.
Because nobody likes her.
Alexa Bliss.
They all think she found a different way to get to the top.
Well,
so there's a lot of shade there.
But you know what, though? She's great on the mic. She does, and I think
she's a rip-off Harley Quinn.
Yeah, but she's so hot. I
like the Freddy Krueger stuff.
Yeah,
that was cool too. Yeah.
And then we move on to.
Yeah, let's move on. Quick.
Now this is, I call this one the shovel match. Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt.
Go.
Bray, do yourself a favor. Go to Japan.
Oh my goodness!
Somebody's going to push you the right way there.
It's painful. That match was painful to watch, only because I was sitting there and I'm watching, and I'm like, whoever loses this one is going to get the shovel.
It should have been the demon being controlled by the Eater of Worlds. That could have been a great storyline moving forward.
Yeah, but on the plus side, the Demon King entrance was fantastic.
Oh, always is.
Yeah,
it's great.
But again, makeup, woo.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I'm not impressed. I'm not a Finn Balor fan.
I've always liked Finn. I just think that, again, you have the wombats at work that don't know how to book, that don't know what they're doing.
I think he's not the right guy for a Raw show. The Raw show is always those big guys. He's more of a AJ Styles, Bobby Roode. Like, I think he'd fit in well with those guys.
I said that forever. When he came back,
he's too small.
Because he has that Universal Championship shot. I don't know if he actually has a shot because he relinquished the title. He was the first Universal Champion. And we were all discussing it.
He'll never fit in a ring with Braun Strowman.
Or Braun Strowman or Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, he'll never. There's no way. Or even Roman Reigns.
Yeah. But Finn won, and with the Superstar shakeup next week, I hope he goes to SmackDown. To be honest with you, I hope they both go to SmackDown.
Nah.
Because you know what? That's where
I don't think they'd move Bray back.
Ugh.
They go back and forth. I
think Bray's at the end of his rope right now. I would be pissed off in his situation.
I would be. Yeah.
I think they should just
He's by far one of the best people on the mic nowadays.
Absolutely.
Hands down. Promos kill it. The crowd gets him over, and yet they still bury him.
Yeah, I know. I guess it's the JoJo incident
that's exactly what I was thinking.
I think it was before that, because they still did it even before the JoJo incident. They would still give him this build up, and then he loses.
But the thing is, though, I think that was like I don't want to say the straw that broke the camel's back, but the JoJo incident is. Why that has a say?
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
It's a personal life thing.
But it's how they operate.
Right.
And we move on to Ambrose and Rollins, new tag champs, defeating the Jar of Mayonnaise and I'll call them
the Swiss Superman,
the awkward 007,
and awkward 007. I call them the relish to hit to the mayonnaise.
Best wrestler today.
Yeah, well, and I do.
I like Cesaro.
Best wrestler today.
Like
I don't care what anybody says.
Technically, yes.
Go.
But is
Power?
No, but
Power.
Yeah.
Best wrestler today.
In ring, yes. Outside the ring.
Oh yeah, he's awful.
Again, he needs a mouthpiece.
Those still can't even do a high five right, and they've been a tag team for a year.
but they were the bar. I've always
at the bar.
I've always liked Cesaro.
I love Cesaro.
But it's like
That
again,
European uppercut is amazing.
The uppercut train. I like
yeah.
that.
Oh, the uppercut train. But
His finish is awful, though. His finish is really bad.
But what do you think about Ambrose and Rollins together as a tag team again?
It's a sell. It's just to sell more tickets. That's all it is.
Don't care.
You know,
I'll be happy when Ambrose goes heel and turns on him.
yeah.
I'll be happy when Ambrose just goes away.
I know he's not one
Really?
of your favorites.
You don't?
Nah.
No. I mean,
I never liked. I didn't like the Shield. I was never a Shield guy.
I was never a Shield guy either.
You know, this whole
I
thing.
didn't mind the Shield. I think what
I liked what they were used for as Triple
Right.
H's goons.
Yeah, and then once they became on their own,
Yeah, I hear you.
it was not one of my favorite factions.
But I like, but they had to get the titles off of Sheamus and Cesaro. I
agree with that.
Because I think Sheamus brings Cesaro down in a lot of ways. Because again, Sheamus is just so stale.
He needs a tan.
But nobody, but Cesaro is never over. Like they've tried to push that guy, and so how many things has that guy done? I'm not going to break this down into his career, but like how many things has he done? They've tried to repackage him as James Bond, or he was with Paul Heyman. He was with Paul Heyman.
He was a Heyman guy for a minute.
Yeah, and he still didn't get over. It's just.
But the crowd loves him.
And
He has his own section.
Sometimes they're bored with him. Like you said, they're bored with Sheamus, so they put the two of them together.
Yeah, I mean, but I think, is this the beginning of the end of Sheamus?
No, he's boys with Triple H.
Yeah,
best
true.
friends.
Yeah.
Why do you think that guy? Talk about winning your first title, getting a push like Corbin did. He won his title right away.
Didn't he win it from Cena?
Yeah.
He did, yeah. But but you know, we'll see where it goes with Ambrose and Rollins. I only give it a couple months.
It's not a one-off, but you can say
It's a Survivor
months.
Series.
Now the U.S. title match, AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. It was a good match. I
like the build-up of the KO and Shane.
Yeah.
We know what's coming, and it's going to be a great match. I honestly think it's going to be a great match.
Well,
I don't like Shane
but
in the ring,
again, Shane, it has to be something that.
What's the next SmackDown pay-per-view? Hell in a Cell.
I was going to say, Shane needs something high to jump off of.
Yeah, that's exactly why I said that. Yep. Yeah. Great minds think alike.
I think it should be the Titantron again. I'm just saying.
Ooh, that was such a nasty.
Is there even a Titantron anymore?
No. But that was such a nasty.
But still, at the end of the day, you give the son of the owner of the company the credit for getting up there and doing that.
And that's why, and that's why the fans love him, because you know what?
Because he doesn't care. He'll do what he has to do.
He doesn't. He does.
That silver spoon doesn't do shit for him.
He exactly. You know, he has the silver spoon, but he does things that could ruin his life.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
And the man survived a helicopter crash.
True story. Are him and Ric Flair friends? Plane crashes, helicopter crashes. But AJ Styles comes up with the victory, and where does this leave AJ? Does it leave him at kind of leaves him at mid-card, the mid-card area, not a mid-card talent, but the mid-card title area for a while, I think. It all depends on what happens with the shakeup, I think.
Yeah.
It depends on who he's going to have as that.
He needs to sit there until Jinder gives up the belt. Once Jinder gives up the belt,
Or he needs to lose it and get it from Jinder.
Yeah.
Even though they're saying the program we'll get to this next actually, but the Jinder Nakamura stuff, even though they're saying that program might be over, it was a one-off for just SummerSlam, but
I'm so disappointed. I mean, I knew that Nakamura wasn't going to win, but when he lost, it was like,
To make Jinder not that transitional champion, he has to win at a couple pay-per-views.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
He's got like 4 under his belt.
Yeah, but 3 of them were against Randy Orton.
Man,
One
that's
was
like
a Punjabi prison match, the most terrifying match in the history of wrestling.
Yeah, until the 19-foot retard came out and choked him out.
oh my god.
Sorry.
Since the sarcasm in
Not
my
political,
brain.
but
Since the sarcasm in my brain.
But,
sarcasm?
But with that being said, I mean, we all know that they're going into they're trying to make that push into India. They're going to shove Jinder Mahal out there as their front guy for that month or whatever that they're doing in India. And then, but does it come at the cost of anything? Does it come at the cost of possibly losing Shinsuke Nakamura in about a year?
He's out when his contract's up. He's out. They're not doing anything with him.
I can't see him staying.
No, there's no reason to.
There's no reason to stay. But yeah, so I mean, with all these like, oh well, we'll give him this, we'll give him this victory. What does it come at the cost of? I mean, by giving Randy Orton the win over Rusev. Okay, you gave Randy Orton a win, but what is that the cost of?
Right.
You know, does it mean that?
Well, they also just figured Randy Orton just lost 3 pay-per-views in a row.
But that's what I mean.
You know.
I mean, okay, but they also have to know that Randy Orton's coming toward the end of his career. He's in his late 30s. You have Rusev, who's in his late 20s, early 30s.
I see Orton being that Ric Flair that's going to be wrestling when he's 60. I see that being the case.
But it's like, what do you? I mean, so what if Rusev leaves in like 6 months?
Right.
You know, what if Nakamura leaves, and maybe what if they grant his release? You know, they're losing talented guys to glorified part-timers.